Hello and good evening. Welcome to the show. It is Sunday and it is what? Ba, ba, ba. Giveaway day.
That wasn't even planned.
So we will be doing our giveaway today. We'll do that at the end of the show. We have all the names and
We have
everything
them
ready
in
to go.
this crushed red pepper jar.
In a crushed red pepper jar. Because we're crafty and we reuse things.
And we are obviously out of crushed red pepper.
So today's episode, we're going to be talking about bringing up boys. This is our life.
We're not leaving girls out, by the way. Another episode. They take an episode all of their own. So.
Yes. So we're 75% boys in our home.
Yeah.
And so we're not leaving girls out, but our 3 boys can be one show, and our 1 girl will be an entirely other show.
Show
So, here we are. Bringing up boys. Episode 20, by the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. So we've made it 20 episodes. That means you guys have been listening to us for 20 weeks. So we want to say thank you, and we want to just really kind of celebrate when we open this here little thing.
I'm so excited.
Right? It's our first giveaway, and
can we win?
We can. But maybe next time. We've already got their hopes up for this one.
Okay.
We're not going to cancel it on you now. This is so nice. We're going to keep it. So we're going to be talking about our boys 100% tonight, and then we'll get to the drawing. So first things first, we have the oldest. We're going to start from oldest to youngest.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So if you guys notice that I'm talking a little bit different this evening, I'm trying not to yell at you. I do have my hearing aids in.
Pretty sure the batteries are dying.
So I have my hearing aids in, so I might not be yelling at you guys tonight. So Jacob. So I've asked Tiffany to give me one word for Jacob that would describe him, and then I give. It was a name the kid in 1 or 2 words.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that you sit down and you really think about this for your own children, and just really, it's not necessarily to put a label on them, but it's to describe their personality, their everything.
Yeah, because they're all the different.
All the different.
Yeah,
You're
great grammar today. Yeah, I'm good. They're all different. Wow.
All right, so Jacob, your word for Jacob
was witty.
Witty. Yes.
He's like Bobby Jr., y'all. Like
he
can come back with something before I even realize what I said. He's already coming back with something.
And he'll pop it off.
Man.
And sometimes you think, boy, did you really think before you spoke that time?
He gets that part from me.
You might want to process that a little bit. Your filters run a little shy here.
Yeah.
Process that just a second more. But he is very witty. But my word for him is sarcastic.
Yeah. I think that comes with being a teenager, but he's like top notch.
Yes, top notch. That is
not in a smart aleck kind of way.
But that's one of his qualities.
Yeah.
It's one of his hidden talents, is sarcasm. Mm-hmm. And so we've been through a pretty good bit with Jacob.
Yeah, I think so.
Broken bones,
asthma.
Yeah. So in the first, what was he, 15 months old? And we spent time in the hospital with him, out of town.
Yeah, 14-ish months.
14 to 15
It was
15
January. He was born in November, so there you go.
Yeah. So that is what, Tiffany?
14.
14 months, okay.
14.
So we took a trip, and we were 10 hours from home. And this kid, I started having some breathing problems, and I'm thinking, well, we've been through the asthma thing before. And then, I went out ice fishing came back and he was laboring. He was really laboring to breathe. So we got him to the hospital, and a buddy stayed with us, and we spent roughly 30 hours in the hospital. And there were no beds. Imagine that. History repeats itself. There were no beds available. This was 15 years ago, and we had to stay in ICU. They allowed 3 of us in. Think about how those times have changed.
Yeah, right.
They allowed 3 of us in there, and we stayed with him, and it was not comfortable. Any of you have ever been in the hospital for any short period of time, you know that it's like everybody has this game. I think there's an unwritten rule in the hospital that, like, they know when you just start to get comfortable and you just start to doze off, and then they come in and pow, flip the lights
they had you
on.
on camera, yeah.
They flip the lights on and then want to give you medicine or want to come in and talk. They wait until you're just about asleep, and you will get no rest in a hospital. 100%, 0 rest.
Anyways,
so that was a very tough time. He ended up having RSV.
Yeah.
And so 3 of us, Tiffany and I and my buddy, were all in the hospital, and he toughed it out with us. Josh, my buddy, he stayed in. He and I were like switching out. One of us would, now, kind of funky, but listen to me. I had to sleep on the floor.
Sometimes when you're tired, though, you just don't care. Like,
you sleep on the floor of a hospital room.
Rules go out the window.
You don't know what's been on that floor. We were in ICU. I was sleeping on the floor, and he was sleeping in the windowsill. We gave Tiffany the chair, and he and I would rotate. It's like every time a doctor or a nurse would come in, we would rotate. And he'd be like, okay, my turn for the floor, your turn for the window. So we've been through a lot. Jacob has broken bones. Jacob has had a stick shoved through his foot, riding a dirt bike in Crocs, right? Where's your boots? Where's your helmet? You know, where is your gear, right?
Yep.
And this kid went barreling down through the woods in Crocs and shorts.
On his sister's dirt bike at that.
Yeah, that's right. On his sister's dirt bike, too. So they spent time in Labatter trying to get a stick out of his foot. Let's see, what other things has Jacob been through? The kid has actually taken us through some pretty crazy teenage moments. Right?
And he's only 15
Yeah.
now. Jeez.
So
nothing terrible though.
No, it's not terrible. It's not the best. Definitely not the best, and we definitely don't want to repeat it.
I don't approve of it to happen again.
But for those of you that have preteens, those of you that maybe haven't seen any of these kind of things yet with your kid getting in trouble, lock the doors, put bars on the windows.
They'll find a way around them, trust me.
I gotta take these out. These are killing me.
Oh gosh.
So
he's gonna yell at y'all now. So.
Yeah. Huh? What'd you say? So Jacob snuck out one night, and I didn't just get a phone call from somebody that knew that he was out. I got a phone call from another parent. So that was interesting in itself, spending 2-3 hours in the driveway talking to parents, right?
Yeah.
But when I grabbed him and took him over there and got him in the truck, he said, "Where are we going?" I said, "You know where we're going." And he sunk down in the seat like, "Oh my gosh, I got to face this, Dad." Like, I wasn't bad enough, but when you got 2 mean grizzly bears of a dad, he sunk down in the seat. So that was interesting times. Let's see. Jacob has given us a lot of laughs. He was pretty silly as a kid. We were looking through some pictures last week. Found an old memory card. So I ended up finding an old camera. All right, y'all remember when they weren't just on a cell phone? When we actually had cameras that we would carry around with us, that you had to either keep the battery charged or you had to keep extra batteries. And before that, we had actual film.
This one was a memory card.
Yeah. So this one had a memory card. and I found it, and I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't seen this in a long time.
2011.
We had pictures from 2011, 2012, and like we were looking at pictures of Jacob, and we're like, oh my goodness, look at this. And in every picture,
he had a silly face.
He was making some kind of silly face.
Yeah, always.
And that was our kid. That like he was the face making, joke playing Jacob. Yeah. So I think it comes along with the name. And I do believe, if I can say this, all three of our boys are appropriately named.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So Jacob has turned into a much better, well-mannered young man. We have taught him to respect his parents.
Yep.
We've taught him to respect his elders, and that there's always that spirit of rebellion and that sense of I want to test the waters, so to speak, kind of thing. So we've been there, we've done that, but overall he's turned into a workaholic, which is kind of scary. He does love money, and the kid will work his tail off.
He loves making money.
He loves making money. So he's turned into a hard worker. He's really made Dad proud. So if I could say so myself, I read a letter from him last week because it was Father's Day, and touched my heart tremendously. So I believe that we're raising a fine young man, if I can say so myself.
I feel like you can.
All right. So
if they don't agree, there's not a dislike button. So.
Right. So sometimes you ever thought maybe there should be a like or a dislike button attached to your child? Like, hey, you remember this? Dislike that attitude very much, right? Son, I approve.
Next kid. We gotta go to the
next kid.
We're already at 11.
Judah.
Don't yell. He'll be coming. He'll be like, hi.
Judah, number 2 boy.
Judah, number 2, and my word for him was weird. I love him, but he is a weird little creature. And I tell him all the time, Judah, you are so strange. Why are you so strange?
Words right out of the mouth of Mom. Can't take it back. It's on social media now.
He knows. It's okay.
So your word for him was weird. My word for him, my couple words for him, highly intelligent.
I think that's why he's so weird. If you're super smart, I'm so sorry, but smart people are just weird.
There is a trade-off. In every person you know, there's a trade-off between nerd and super smart and then having a normal personality.
So he's not like nerd level. He still goes out and rides his dirt bike, and he's still a boy, like 100%. He's 100% still a boy. But he is just weird, y'all.
So explain. You gotta talk. Tell us why he's so weird.
I don't know. He's just always making noises, or I don't know, just stuff he says and the faces he makes. And I'm like, why? What are you doing?
You'll find out that all 3 of our boys
I feel like all y'all
are
need
face making
to
kids. Like,
yeah,
I think they get that.
Their thoughts are definitely on their face, and probably so. It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Explain Judah for us.
I just did.
This is not Bobby Talk Hour. This is you too.
Sweat. God. Okay, so he's very smart. He reads very well. I mean, he's just a smart kid. He processes things
very
and
fast.
Like songs. I was listening to a new song in the car the other day, like for the first time ever. And Judah's sitting there singing every word. And I'm like, Judah.
Second chorus, the kid's got it.
I'm like, Judah, how do you know this song? He said, oh, Jacob let me hear it once. Okay. And you know every word? Mm-hmm. He gets that from you.
Maybe.
Probably.
Mine's starting to slip.
You're 41.
Is that all? That's all you've got to say about Judah? What does he put us through?
What does he put us through?
Yeah. Has he done anything that's really memorable that we've thought, man, we wouldn't want to do that again?
Has he? Obviously not.
Come on,
because
Mom,
I don't
do you
remember.
know your kids? This isn't just some kid off the street of saying, here, describe this guy to me.
But I don't remember him putting us through anything crazy.
No, he hasn't. I'm just putting you on the spot.
Because he won't.
He gets worried.
No, because he's super emotional child. So Judah Jacob, you have to beat him with a belt. Sorry, can you say that on Facebook?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Where's parents?
You have to spank him with a belt. I'll word it that way. But Judah, all you have to do is speak firmly to him, and he will have a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a soft child, but he is. He's emotional in the sense that he doesn't like to be in trouble, so he just doesn't get in trouble.
Right. He has been he's been a very, very good child.
Yeah.
He's only 7.
Yeah, but if you tell him not to do something, he's not going to do it. Like
right.
he's 7, and I could trust him. No, I'm not going to leave him at home alone all day by himself, y'all. But I could totally trust him to stay home by himself.
He is very mature for his age as well.
Yeah.
To be in a room and have free reign with anything in the house, he limits himself unless it comes to a video game or videos.
Yeah.
So he'll stay locked into a computer, and that's another thing that our kids have never really done.
Yeah, we have
They've never been video game kids.
We have to give him time limits on that. He is.
Yes.
He could probably be one of those gamer kids if we let him.
Here's another pointer for you folks: that if you have kids and they're very electronic, just minded and just gravitate to the video games and the videos and stuff like that, and just sucked into electronics, try to limit that time, because he will sit and watch videos
all day if we would let him. Yeah.
Yes, and he will not stop. He can't govern himself with that. But if we stop it, then he's just kind of like, oh man, and then he's over it quickly.
Yeah, he'll just.
So if we tell him, hey, shut that off, go outside, he'll go outside. He'll have a blast. He won't stop. He won't ask to come in and get back on his videos. He won't ask to grab his Switch, anything like that.
He swam in the pond yesterday for what, like 3 hours at least.
Yeah, so he's not our most adventurous child either. But yesterday,
he's grown up a lot.
He has grown up a lot. He was our timid and shy guy. Like,
I called him a chicken butt. He was a chicken butt, y'all. He was scared of everything.
So what he did was he had his little floaties and stuff on, and he was jumping into the pond. So on the deck, he would normally just kind of get down on the first step and then just kind of hop into the water. Well, last weekend, we spent Sunday afternoon swimming and hanging out in the pond, and just real redneck things, right? But that's who we are. That's what we do. So Tiffany and I are in this big raft, and we had Josh in the middle of it with us. We'll get to him in a minute. We saved the best for last as far as personalities go. So we look over, and we're like, oh my gosh, where's Judah? And of course it was Judah and then a couple of his cousins out there with him and his sister. And like, we look out, and he's halfway across the pond. Like, come on guys, come get me. You know, this kid was almost terrified of water a month ago.
Oh yeah.
And then yesterday, they're all out swimming and everything, and they come up to the house and they're like, hey, come on, come down here and watch Judah. Come on, watch him. And he was climbing up onto the rail of the deck.
Yeah, jumping off the rail. And by the end of it, he was doing flips.
Yep, he was doing front flips into the pond. So I tip my hat to the little guy. He's getting a little braver. Maybe we need to start watching him. He might start to...
No, please, for the love of...
take on some Jacob qualities.
Be brave, child.
All right, so moving on, we get to Josh. Baby Josh. So he's number 4. And even though he's 3 years old, we still call him Baby Josh.
I feel like he'll be that when he's 35 years old.
I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling him Baby Josh. Just because he's going to get to the point where he's like, I'm not Baby Josh.
It'll only
and
be
you know
a phase.
That's coming.
It'll only be a phase.
You know that's coming because he'll tell you, that's not my name.
Oh, yeah, we know.
If you call him something other than Joshua Luke, then he's like, that's not my name. My name is Joshua Luke. So, one word. Well, give me your 2.
Okay, so I did 2 words. Affectionate. He's affectionate. Like, he is the loveliest kid. He has this little girl at church. We tease him about her being his girlfriend, but he always has to give her hugs. But people in general, it's like he can sense when somebody's struggling or if somebody's had a bad day, and he'll just run up and give them a hug, even if he doesn't know them. I don't know if that's a great thing, but for the most part, I'll let him go. And then my other word for him is wide open. from the minute his eyes open in the morning to the minute they close at night, he is wide open, outside 24/7, in his underwear. His underwear and boots. That's all he wears.
If you read in the description of this episode, the definition of the boy is completely attached to Joshua.
Yes, 100%.
Boy means a noise with dirt on it. That kid is always in the dirt, digging, throwing it, running his trucks in it.
Riding his tractor.
Riding his tractor.
When I give him a bath at night, it's like the tub is solid dirt when he
looks
gets
like
out.
Pigpen from Charlie Brown was put in the bathtub, and it's just the whole bottom of the tub is dirt.
Yeah, I feel like I should shower him after his bath.
But my description for him is not just a one word. It's hyphenated. One of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Luke, one of a kind. And it comes from the name because Joshua is named after my best friend, Josh, and
he's
100%.
Also one of a kind.
Yep, he is one of a kind. And Josh will watch this on the replay. He'll see it on our YouTube channel, and I know I'm going to get a text message from him tomorrow laughing.
Yep.
I just know already because when I told him that I was naming my child after him,
his wife was like, "Please don't. You'll regret it."
We were warned.
Don't.
We were warned 100%. She said, "Wait, you might want to rethink that.
Yeah.
Do you know the Josh that I live with?" And those qualities are there.
Yeah.
It is the name. The name of a person really says it all. If you look back in Bible times and you read the Bible at all, you can see that those names matched up. Like Jacob, our Jacob, heel grabber.
Yeah.
Like he is striving for first place all the time. And he's number one in the rank of kids, and he's going to hold his title.
Oh yeah.
He's going to do whatever it takes to hold that title. Judah, Judah, 100%. His name in Hebrew means praise to God.
Yeah.
Judah Lemuel means praise to God in Hebrew, and like he is really, really coming into his name because Judah is so smart, and he is our all four of them are our miracle kids because we were told in the beginning when we were trying to have kids, we tried for 3 years before we had our first child, and it was only through the power of God in prayer. And we know that the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. It carries a lot of weight is another translation. But Dennis Peeler, we thank you for praying because we love all four of our babies.
Yep.
And Joshua being one of a kind. Now that kid, one of the reasons why I can't wear these little hearing aids in the house is that I'll have them to where I can hear the TV. Instead of on 35, I can hear the TV on 7, and then just out of nowhere, blah! And of course, I have not spent a load of money. These are just some little cheapies that I've been testing out, and there's no noise canceling. So when he goes, blah! It's like he's right here in my ears, and I just about jump to the ceiling like a cat. But Josh is one of a kind. His faces. He's got this little thing that he does. If you catch him off guard, he's just like, huh?
Yeah.
And he makes that little, huh? Curls his lip up. Got that little Elvis thing going on. Yeah. And he is very affectionate. Every single day he waits for me to get home.
Yeah.
And if he's outside, then he stops me coming in the driveway because he wants to ride that 100 feet with Dad. He stops me, flags me down, and he would cry if I didn't let him ride right there for 100 feet to my parking place. He's number one to tell you that he's sorry, to tell you that he loves you. He will melt your heart in a second.
And he's also that kid that he'll do something he's not supposed to do, but then he instantly regrets it. I don't know if he regrets it because he feels bad because he did it, or if he knows he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
But he'll come to you and be like, "Mom."
He's another one. Yeah. He's another one of our boys, like just our child that you don't have to spank him. You don't have to put your hand on him at all. if you call his name, he can hear it in your tone, and he just immediately freezes.
Yep.
And that boo-boo lip will come out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I want you folks to be encouraged over the different personalities. As we share these things, just understand that each child is completely different.
And I want to throw this in there as we wrap it up, because we're fixing to do our giveaway, so y'all don't disappear from us yet. Promise we're getting there. But before I wrap this up, mamas, let your boys be boys. For the love of Pete, please let your boys be boys. We went to two nephews' ball games last Saturday, all day, 12 and a half hours we were at the ball field. And one thing I took away from it is boys these days
are
sissies. They are sissies. Any little, like, hit, anything happen, and they're on the ground, balled up, doubled over, crying. Like, when I was 11 years old, it was not cool for boys to cry, but these days, they don't care.
Let me just throw this in here, too. I'm sorry if that was your child. I'm sorry if you know who that was, and if you know that your child was crying at the ball field, and I'm calling them soft. It wasn't because they were hot and they were tired. Them boys are soft.
Yes.
They're playing sports. I tip my hat because they're outside. They're not playing video games. They're not stuck in a house somewhere. But are they truly doing what they want to do? Are they doing what the parents want them to do?
Right.
Are they living according to their hopes and dreams? Are the parents doing what it takes to nurture and bring out the best in that child? Or are they forcing them to do something that maybe they don't want to do? If they don't want to play sports, don't make them play sports. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that they could have interest and hobbies in. There are a lot of different things. Me, personally, I'd say let them hunt and fish. You know, because there's coming a time where grocery stores are not always going to be there. They're going to be shut down. Nobody's going to be working them. The robots, even when people quit going to work and robots take over,
right.
Robots break down. I work on equipment every day.
Story.
We'll get to that.
Teach your boys to be boys. And also, you made me forget my other point. Teach your boys to be men. Oh, but also teach them how to treat a lady with respect. That's a different story for a different day.
We're coming to that later.
We will, but we try to teach our boys, you open the door for a lady, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and such. So, now, for the giveaway.
Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and announce what this is. You ready?
It's the only reason y'all watching today. We already know.
Here we go. It's out of the envelope. A special gift for you. We have a $100 gift certificate to the seller.
We'd also like to give a shout out to the seller for they actually donated this. Is that the word? Donated?
Yes. They sponsored this.
That's the word. Yes.
So we thank you to all of those that run the seller, that are owners of the seller, that have donated and sponsored into this. We know that good business is hard to find. Good places to eat are hard to find, and we support the seller. We hope you will too. Nobody's perfect, obviously, but we thank the seller 100% for their gift, for us to be able to provide this to you. So we have an open-ended gift certificate. It is good for a year. So it expires in May of next year. So 2023, you've got plenty of time to plan it out. So you take your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you call them, if you're married or not, but take them to a good dinner and use the time wisely. If you need a sitter, call and get somebody to babysit for you, and just go as a couple, as a date night.
No kids allowed on this date night. Okay.
So this is $100 that you don't have to come out of your pocket because times are tough.
And look at all these entries, y'all. We actually had lots of them.
All right, I'm gonna hold it.
I don't want to draw.
You're gonna draw it.
No, I don't want to be responsible.
Okay, I'll draw it. Look, mixing around. There are some different colors in here.
All over here.
But
I don't know who's. Everybody's names on different colors anyway.
All right, so here we go. I got a pink one.
My heart is pounding. I'm nervous.
You read it.
Okay.
Here we got Jay and Amanda Kasinger. All right, Jay and Amanda. So, congratulations, Jay and Amanda, for winning our very first giveaway, a $100 gift certificate to the seller. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your support. Thank you to everyone that was in this. We've had fun with this.
We have, and also if you didn't win, don't get discouraged because next week
we're going to make an announcement
about another giveaway
for our next giveaway. All right. So stay tuned. Stay with us. Don't get discouraged. There will be more to come. All right. So again, we thank you so much for watching. We thank you for being here. We ran a little bit over today. We're just over 30 minutes, but we greatly appreciate everything that you guys comment. We thank you for all the accolades and everything that you guys give us when we meet face to face, how much you enjoy our show and our topics. And also, there's our email address scrolling at the bottom. If there are some things, some topics that you'd like us to touch on, something that maybe you've seen struggles with in relationships or kids or marriage, sex, love, whatever you want, give us those bits of info, and we will use it in the show. We will touch on the points that maybe you've seen some struggles in. So we want to be a benefit to you guys. We don't just want to talk about our kids and our family all the time. We want to help you in the process. We want you guys to come along with us so we can be the very best we can be for you. And so hit us in that email. If you don't want all your business out there in the middle of everybody, then go to that email, fill it out, and then we won't share the names, and we'll just share the details of a situation. And we will modify for the protection of those that are involved.
Yeah, right.
So it's like a true story. The names have been changed to protect the innocent, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Congratulations again, Jay and Amanda.
Don't forget, you got 7 days to contact us.
So y'all have a great night. Enjoy your week. I pray that you guys will have a great week, a blessed week, and come back again to see us next week. Next week we have a surprise. We'll be in a different location.
Yay.
All right. So y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Hit that in button, Tiff.